I just triggered
crossed the
everybody.
line. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing yet another episode of Ask Shaverly, and this month's topic was
writing.
It is National Novel Writing Month, and we're currently in the process of NaNoWriMo and NaNoWriMo. We decided to answer some of your questions about writing, and without further ado, here we go. You find yourself using specific words often in your work.
And then when I'm editing, and it's just repeating, like starting the sentences, like always starting with she or always starting with he. Not necessarily words.
Yeah.
It's more of just the sentence structure.
I use intertwined. Don't know why. And I use cascade.
It's probably because you listen to Dodie when you're writing.
Maybe.
Which original character that you have created are you most like? I don't feel like I'm like any of my characters. I think I make a point to like make myself not like my characters, because although I like to put myself into the book, I won't make a character like me.
I feel like I put myself in a piece of every single character, so it's really hard to pinpoint which one is more like me.
I will put pieces of myself in characters, I just don't like make them me.
Based off you, yeah. I'd say I'm more like the protagonist in my NaNoWriMo book for the Legacy. How do you get over writer's block?
You don't. Self-promo, I did a whole video about this in Vita. You let it run its course, you'll get over it eventually. It's just a bad time for you to be writing. And I feel like you don't force yourself to write during writing, because everything will go pear-shaped and you'll end up with a book like Corresponding Lives.
I mean, if you've only got it a little bit, you could probably push through it by writing more, but if you literally feel like you can't sit at your computer any longer, like, get out of that. I feel like writer's block stems from bad planning. Not bad planning, but lack of planning.
Yeah.
So if you've got writer's block and you can pinpoint the fact that you haven't done as much planning as you possibly could, go back to that chapter and plan more, and I promise you that it will come. What are you two writing at the moment?
I'm not writing, I'm planning. I'm planning parallel. NaNoWriMo.
I've been writing the same book for about 26 days for NaNoWriMo, and it's called The Legacy. How long have you both been writing, and what tips would you give to new writers?
I've been writing forever. Just forever. Pretty sure the first book I finished was when I was 8.
I say I've probably been writing from just before primary school.
Yeah, I feel like that's when I started writing, like year 2, around the age of year 2. Like, obviously they aren't novels.
I think that's when most people are introduced to English and maths, and then they find their interests, so you either gravitate to one or the other. I remember giving my teacher a Christmas book with drawings in it.
Bless you.
Like when I was like friggin' 8-ish, and it's probably really shit, but get Grammarly. Oh my god.
Grammarly is a freaking saint. Even if you don't have the money to pay for the membership, it does spelling, it does grammar,
synonyms, it does
synonyms, it gives you suggestions for better words. So if you said very large, it will give you like humongous or something.
I know it sounds very corny and some people don't like doing this, but that's fine. If you can write easily or more fluently to music, then set yourself up a playlist separately of things that you want to write, because you'll spend more time pressing the button of like skipping songs that you don't want to listen to.
Then you will write.
Make sure you like section them off, because you might procrastinate within the music.
How do you deal with both hateful and constructive criticism? Hateful, you delete it. If it's constructive, that's great, because they're not being mean. The way to see whether it's constructive and whether it's hateful. Hateful is just going to be like, your book's crap.
Yeah, and they're not telling you why. And that's one of my pet peeves.
That, or they're like, you did this, and this wrong. Don't say anything that's right. And that's, in a way, saying, yeah, you did this bad, but you also did this really well. You can do this really well. So I would say work on this so you can bring it up to this as standard.
If you could give your younger writer self some advice or wisdom, what would you say?
Plan it. Don't just write it. Don't just get this idea, this base idea, and start writing, because then you think plot holes up and you find all these plot points and you start writing them and then you forget about them.
Don't be ashamed to write what you want to write about. Dabble into the popularity and mainstream, whatever's popular at that point. But if you can't get into it, don't force it, because that's clearly not where you belong. Like, you need to find yourself, and don't be ashamed to show who you are once you found it. Don't just go with what everyone else is doing, because that might not work for you.
If you could give each other a piece of constructive advice, About their writing, what would you say? The only one I have, I already told you about earlier, is just get out of your comfort zone. Because your comfort zone was contemporary, because she's like, I know what the real world is like, I'm gonna write about the real world. Had all these ideas for fantasy novels.
But I kind of was like,
But you was just kind of like, I don't think I can do that, so I'm not going to do it.
Right, just fucking do it. You're so bad for just not doing it. It's not gonna write itself. Like, you expect it just to be like, done. I think it's just a confidence issue.
Probably.
Like, it's not so much you don't want to write, it's just the fact that you're too scared. Who were your favourite authors growing up?
Never really read Roald Dahl, Jacqueline Wilson.
Yeah.
I never really read those people. I just kind of saw a book, picked it up and read it. And the only book that really stuck with me was Darren Shan's. And that's why he's just a favourite author of mine. And he still is to this day. I have a lot more favourite authors now. My favourite author is Sarah J Maas.
I didn't really read a lot in childhood. I haven't really delved into that because as a child I thought that was my sister's thing. Like, I didn't think I would be allowed to do that because it was my sister's thing. Like, I'm not a reader, I'm a writer. I've always kind of read Jacqueline Wilson, like, I'm just a cliche, and people like J.K. Rowling and stuff like that. Also read a lot of the Mr. Men books, that's not really counting. I'd say John Green, Lee Bardugo and Marissa Meyer, but not Heartless.
The last question we got on Curious Cat is, what are some of your favourite songs to write to?
Anything by Dodie Clark. By Dodie. Anything. There is a whole YouTube channel and I'm going to plug the shit out of him, even though he doesn't need it because he's got way more subscribers than I do and he's so talented. Or it might be a woman, I don't know. It's a really good channel for just mellow background noise, and it can be really emotional, so you can just turn one on and like proper like get into the scene. The only comment we got from YouTube was from Kenzie, and she asked, does a line ever just pop into your head and then a whole novel stems from that one line? That happens to me all the time.
I've never had this happen.
No, I can't say that I have either.
I've had like a paragraph.
I don't normally get them just from one line, but that's pretty a good skill to have because I wish I had that.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Ask Shaverly. If you liked it, please give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe to us both if you haven't already. Next month's topic is
Christmas! Because guess what? It's Christmas.
Almost. It's almost Christmas.
It will be by the time you're watching this. Next month is Christmas. So what we're going to do it on?
Christmas. I'll see you next month for another Ask Shaverly video, and I will see you in December for my first December video. That's really weird. This is my last Ask Shaverly without a tattoo. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. 1, 4, 3. Bye.